Hello everyone, it's Dragana from Saacibo. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. You may have heard that by using avocado pits and skin you can get pink papers, and that is true. But today I want to show you that you can do the same thing with avocado leaves. What prompted me to do this is the fact that I couldn't get avocados like the fruit here easily. When I can find it in the shop, it's quite expensive, and honestly it's not worth it. But I do have an avocado tree growing in a pot, and it's about 11 years old. It doesn't bear fruit, but it has plenty of leaves, and every day a few of them drop, and I usually toss them in a bin. But the other day I thought I just want to try and boil some and see if I can get that pink color from the leaves, because I read somewhere on the internet that it can be done. So I tried it. So I cooked a few of the leaves. Some were freshly green, some were dried, and this is what happened. The papers turned such a beautiful pink or dusty pink color. I absolutely love it. And the avocado pit that I had in my fridge, this one, it was in a plastic zip bag for about a month. So now I prepared some soil here. I'm just going to put it there and I'll see if it's going to sprout. This is how I've done it the last time, and it worked. The tree that I have, it's amazing. Everyone who comes to visit, they can't believe that the tree is growing so beautifully, so luscious and green inside of the house. Sometimes I take it out in the summer, but during the winter it has to stay in because it can't stand sub-zero temperatures. Now, I was going to do something completely different today, but this morning when I went to water my avocado tree, I noticed that there's a lot of new growths, a lot of new branches, and this is what these leaves look like. They're absolutely gorgeous. I like them when they turn yellow as well. Sometimes I press them, and they can be really big like these, and some are smaller. So I had to do some trimming because the tree is getting bigger than the room and it is root bound. It's all the way up to the ceiling and I have to trim it regularly. So I thought today, since I've done that, I might as well show you this. And we'll make some dye for the papers and we'll try the cooking method for the fabrics. And I've tried with papers, I haven't tried with fabric so far. So even for me, this is a bit of an experiment. I don't know what it's going to happen. And you know, this is what makes it so exciting. I do the video and I haven't even tested this. So if it's not good, it's not good. What can I say? But at least we tried together. Maybe it makes it more exciting. I don't know. So I thought first I'll make some dye for the papers. This part I've done before, so I know what I'm doing, I suppose. So I'm just going to get these leaves. This is what I've done first time around. Just the dry ones. And I just cut them like this in smaller sections. This one's gorgeous. Okay. And I got some fresh ones too. All right. I'll just get a few more. Yeah, so that's it. So I'm just going to cover this with water. I've got about a liter of water here, but I'm not going to use it all, just enough to cover everything. Yeah, that's about it. So now I'm going to put it on my stove and let it boil. After it boils, I'll turn the heat down and I'll let it simmer for about 45 minutes to an hour. All right, so that is on the stove. Now, the next thing I want to try is something that I haven't tried before, but I want to try it now. I'm just going to put some fabrics here, like some gauze. I'll have one gauze. This is some sort of synthetic fabric for the curtains. It's a sample, so I'm just going to cut off this part with the label, so I don't want that inside, so I'm going to do that. I've got a piece of cotton. This was a bed sheet, I think, and I have this thing with the embroidery. It is stained, so I might use that. And I've got this strip of really thin cotton, but I don't think it's purely cotton. It has something else in it, and there's a piece of silk. So hopefully this will all fit. All right, so now I was thinking of just placing chopped leaves. So I'll do a bit of that again. I'm just going to do it like that. I'm going to add the leaves and water. I'm going to mix it up. Maybe look at this a little bit. I'm going to layer it up. I could also make the dye and then put the fabrics in the dye, but I just wanted to see if this would work if I do it all at once. You know what I mean? Just want to see what's going to happen. See the big leaves. These leaves are huge. So yeah. So I thought I'd just try this, you know, to see if I'm gonna get any variations in color. And I'm not going to use any mordants. I want to try and do this without iron mordant, without alum. I just want to do it like this, just to see what's going to happen. I find that when I use it on paper, it was quite stable. I kept it in the sun and it didn't fade. The paper stayed the same. All right, and that one as well. Let's get more leaves. I'll keep the small ones for something else. Wow, that's a huge one. Look how big that is. I love that tree. It actually flowered last winter, and yeah, there was only one little tiny avocado that started growing, and then one of my cats just knocked it off. But I don't think it would fruit. You need two different species, I think, to actually have fruit, because it needs cross-pollination or something. I don't know. I'm not really. So I'm just pouring water over. I'm just going to pour all this water. I think, oops, I spilled some on my desk. I think I need to put more because the fabric soaked most of it. So I'm just going to add more. There we go. So I'll put about 2 liters of water. And I'm just going to take it to my stove, turn the heat on, wait till it boils, and then reduce the heat and then simmer for about an hour. We'll see, and then I'll check if it needs more, I'll leave it more. If it doesn't, I'll take it out. We'll see. I'm doing this for the first time, so I don't really know what is the right answer, but we'll figure it out together. All right, this is the first pot. We are just boiling leaves in here. Let's just see. It seems to be getting a little bit pink. I'll just put it in here. It's becoming more pink, but we had more of the old and yellow leaves in here, the ones that fell off naturally. And over here is the pot with fabrics. Seems to be more yellowish, but this one hasn't been cooking for as long as that one. Just taste it. This is our pot where we just placed chopped up leaves and some water, and it is beautiful color. It cooked for about an hour and then I turned it off, so I'm just waiting for it to cool down, and I put some in here so that you can see the color. Alright, now I had to try this. You know, the branches that were left, I thought I'll just put them in this pot and cover with water and boil them as well, and to my surprise they have color or dye as well. And have a look here, it is almost identical to that one. So leaves and these young shoots or branches are fine. And then I had one more left, so I put it in here and I saw that it was releasing the dye, and this one is still cooking. It's been an hour, but I think I want to leave it a little bit more. It does look like it has some dye, but have a look, it's a little bit less intense compared to this here, simply because we put quite a lot more water than we put in the other one, so probably not enough leaves for that much fabric, or this is going to be a paler version of the pink. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer, so it's been an hour. I'm going to leave it maybe another half an hour, and then I'll turn it off and I'll let it cool down. These are done. I won't cook any longer, and as you can see, oops, this one dropped in. The color is almost identical between those two. Perhaps this one is just a little bit darker, but it's hardly noticeable. So I think I'm gonna, you know, in the future, if I do this, I will just cook the leaves and these all together. I won't separate them. This was just because I wanted to see if it matters, you know. So now it's time to drain these. So I'll just grab a clean glass container, put that there, and this, pour the liquid. Okay, and this as well. I'm gonna take this into the garden. Okay, so now we have ourselves some pink dye from avocado leaves and branches, and yeah, I'm going to pour these inside as well. There's some sediment at the bottom. These, so that's what our papers are going to look like. It's a lovely color. Okay, so we're going to use that on the paper. I want to show you a few that I've done in the previous batch before I filmed this video, and they turned out really nice and even, and some of them were lighter and some were darker. Okay, and I'm going to show you the method that I've done with these ones. Sometimes I like to use the brush and spread the dye over the paper. I leave them flat to dry, but this time I just want to show you a different way. You're probably more familiar with this way. You just pour the dye in a tray, and then you keep putting the papers inside. And to get a slightly darker color, I think you need to leave the papers inside a bit longer in this case. The ones that are a bit lighter in color, I think I left about 4 or 5 hours before I took them out and spread them flat to dry. But the ones that were a little bit darker, I think I left them 24 hours or, you know, the next day. So they stayed in this dye a bit longer, and that resulted in a darker color, darker pink color. So this is the way to do it, to get relatively nice and even colored papers. If you want to know how to create different effects, I will leave the link to that other video where I've done the pomegranate and blueberries. I think in that video I show different techniques of dyeing paper, like to get interesting designs. With this one, this is how you get nice and even papers. All right. So I just wanted to demonstrate this in case you didn't know. Okay, so I would leave this 24 hours to get a deep pink color, and then I would take one by one and spread them flat on some plastic bags or acetate sheets or one of those tablecloths that are plastic, vinyl, anything basically that doesn't soak the liquid in. If you were to place it just on paper like this, the chances are it might stick to the paper. When you try to peel it off, it will tear. All right. You can also just drain the liquid and leave them on a pile and put them in a sunny spot, and then take one by one. Take a few off the top as they dry until you get to the last one. That's another way of doing it, but I just wanted to demonstrate this now. I won't do the rest, and I use just regular copy paper. Now this experiment, it looks like it worked. Okay, it has a lovely pink color. No real imprints from the leaves that I can see, but it's overall it's nice color. So it basically, these fabrics cooked inside of this together with the leaves, and as far as I can tell, they look all right. And I have some variations in color, just as I thought it would. Oh look, there's some leaf print as well. All right, so with these ones, obviously I can't do this here. I will take them out of this pot, throw these away, and wash this under cold running water and dry. So here are the fabrics, and they turned out absolutely gorgeous. I washed them in just cold water and hanged them to dry, and they turn out really nice, soft, dusty pink. Here's this one. I love how this one turned out. Where the leaves got attached to the fabric, you get a bit of yellow or greenish color, which is really nice as well. And this one, you can see a little bit of leaf here and here. But it was overall, it was very easy to dye fabrics like this if you wanted to get some variations in colors. Even this fabric dyed nicely, and that is synthetic, it's not cotton. This is the silk shirt. I love how it turned out. It's really nice, soft pink. So basically similar results as you would get from a dye that you make with a pit and a skin of avocado fruit. This one turned out really nice as well. I really like it. Could probably just cut it into strips to create like ribbons. Okay, and here are the papers, slightly different as you can see. The fabrics end up being a little bit lighter, and again it will depend on the type of fiber, the silk, cotton, gauze, the cheesecloth, synthetics, different results with different types of fabrics or fibers. It's the same thing with papers. This is a drawing pad paper, and it looks a little bit more like really pink, you know, while these ones are more like, this is just copy paper. It's soaked really well, so it's more even distribution, while in here we have more like on the edges, but it's also slightly different shade. This one has more like as if more yellow was added into this, and they were sitting in the same dye solution. And then also I have this paper, which is like tracing paper. This one looks almost a little bit orangey in color, and this one again different. I think I put this one on the top, and it just soaked more color in some areas because there were puddles of dye on top. Okay, so that's how you dye papers with just avocado leaves. If you happen to have one, or if you decide to grow one from a pit, that's always good to have if you like plants like me. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something. I'm very happy with my pink papers. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to experiment more with fabrics as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you soon in my next video. Bye for now.